Okay, my final thoughts on the WWE draft. Guys, this don't need to be long. This ain't gonna be no review, really. This is just my thoughts on the draft. I'll tell you the people that got moved, and maybe I'll talk maybe one or two of the matches. But in general, nothing happened. Again, nothing really changed or happened. If anyone was excited to see how great things are about to be, legitimately nothing really changed much. We still got generally the same people in the same spots as they were. They're not moving anyone. They're playing it safe again. Now, we did get 3 NXT stars called up, and the majority of them were sent to Raw. But let me go through at least the 1 or 2 matches that I want to talk about. First match with Gunther and Xavier Woods. This was more about setting up the King of the Ring with Gunther. And about Xavier Woods now getting his leg caught up in the ring ropes. And now he's going to have something with Gunther going into the King of the Ring whenever they're going to have that. Am I fond of it? Honestly, I think about Xavier Woods when he was made the King of the Ring. Did I care about it? No. Because understand something. Xavier Woods had to push for the King of the Ring. And for him to become the champion of it. And it was made into a joke. Let's make this clear. King Booker became King of the Ring and then became a champion. He did. He was with Sharmell, he became King of the Ring, and eventually he became a champion. Here, when it came to Xavier Woods, there was no championship for him. He didn't win a singles title. He's never won a title. He's just been a tag team competitor. But he was given the King of the Ring because, well, Vince liked him so much and how much he made people laugh. That was it. So it really didn't matter about King of the Ring. When it came to Baron Corbin, when he was King of the Ring, it didn't matter. When it came to Xavier Woods, he didn't matter. Now, when it comes to Gunther, if he does win it, it could matter. So that's what we got with that. That's just setting that up. When it comes to Bronson Reed versus Sami Zayn, I did not care. They faced each other before. I didn't expect Bronson Reed to win against him as an IC champion. I expected after Xavier, well, not Xavier. You see, I'm getting, when you see this story, I'm not interested in it. I'm sorry. It should have been Chad. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm not saying I don't love, I want to make this clear. Sami Zayn's a great wrestler. He also can do great stories and character. But it was obvious that it should have been Chad Gable. I'm sorry. He may have won over the fans, but the way I see it, they're eventually going into Saudi Arabia, and I think him being champion is the reason why they did it. They want to look good for the Saudi Arabians, that a Middle Easterner, even though he was born in Canada, it doesn't make a difference. Someone from the Middle East, originally descended from there as a champion, brings in good coin. I'm sorry, that's the way I feel about it. That's why they did it. It wasn't that he was more popular than Chad Gable. It was because they're eventually going to Saudi Arabia for Crown Jewel. That's the way I feel about it. And seeing that Chad Gable was so pissed off because of what he did earlier to him and attacked him and messed up Bronson Reed, and then Bronson Reed got back a little bit, I see what? Eventually a triple threat for the IC title, which I don't believe either one of them are going to win it. It's going to still be Sami Zayn because they want to go to Crown Jewel with Sami Zayn. They're at least scheduling it, setting it up for that. And I will give them that. At least they're going to make Sami look as strong as possible, going into Saudi Arabia, doing Crown Jewel. Fine, I'm all right with that. Because at least they're trying to book it and make him look good. But it's obvious it's because of this. It's obvious. So those are the 2 matches I'm going to talk about. The women's matches, really, what did we really get? We didn't really get much. One match was only 2 minutes long, and Maxine Dupree looked really awkward doing the reverse worm. I wish she wouldn't do that anymore. Look, I'm not against Maxine Dupree. I'm not. She's actually a beautiful woman. She could make a decent, let me give it to you like this. Is she a great wrestler? No. She still needs work. Can she be a good valet? Yes, she can. Can she become a better wrestler? Yes, she could. But at this point, she's still too green. They called up way too soon before she was ready. And her ring set is still based on Alpha Academy, which was a thank you joke. That's what Alpha Academy has been, a joke. Only now they're making it into something that I do believe Chad Gable will break away from Alpha Academy and it will be disbanded. But they're not ready yet. So seeing Maxine have a 2-minute match with the Pixie, Candice LeRae, I'm not surprised that she won. And Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan. You know who was going to win that. There was no way Nia was going to win going to SmackDown. And we got Becky Lynch dealing with Liv Morgan. There was no way she was going to lose that. Even if they interfered in it, that was the only way to do it. And then seeing Tiffany Stratton and a little bit of Naomi thrown in as a distraction is what we got. Was it bad? No. But it was predictable. There was no way Nia Jax was going to beat Liv Morgan. I'm sorry. And yes, Nia Jax has been booked pretty well lately. She has been booked pretty dominant. But there was no way that was going to happen. So there was no way. If you like Nia, you're more power to you, but I could see it. Now, let's go through the draft. First draft picks. And the person who did the opening for the draft was Stephanie. The first person to get drafted was Gunther to Raw. So he stays on Raw. He didn't go anywhere. They're keeping him there. SmackDown. Jade Cargill. What did I say? Someone said, oh, she's going over to SmackDown. They said it's good rumors to SmackDown. No. Jade Cargill staying on SmackDown because she's too fucking green. It doesn't mean she's bad. She's just green. She's not ready. That is why they leave her on SmackDown to develop more. Let her work with Naomi. Let her work with Bianca Belair. Eventually have a feud with maybe Naomi or Bianca Belair. That I'm not surprised about. That is what I expected. There you go. The next one was Damage Control. Let me give it to you like this. Any change? No. Not really. They're just leaving it there. No, was it Damage Control? Yeah, Damage Control, my mistake. Yeah, I'm right. Damage Control. They're on SmackDown now. And if I remember correctly, weren't they on SmackDown already? I could be wrong. You guys tell me below. No, Raw. My mistake. I'm getting it mixed up. Sorry. KO stays on SmackDown as well. Not too surprised. There's no way they're going to move him away from Randy Orton. Next, round 2. Let me give it to you like this. Logan Paul and Speedo. Speedo? I forgot his name. Having them do it, wasn't fond of it. I thought that was kind of dumb. Now, the segment that Logan Paul had when he was dealing with Jey Uso, nailing the face of a JD McDonough, not with 1 ring, but 3. Oh, man. I'm not going to tell you that it wasn't interesting to see Logan Paul get those rings. Those Super Bowl rings. I'm not going to tell you it wasn't. Do I keep up with football? No. Do I recognize the guy who is a draft pick, considered basically MVP? No, because I don't watch football anymore. I used to. I gave up on it. But seeing that they did incorporate it with one of the most legendary, at this time, current legend, was fine. Seeing JD McDonough getting a big splat in the eye, I'm not surprised. They make him into a joke. I know when JD off the script, he's going to say JD McFlurry. He's going to say it. He's not happy that there's another JD. So seeing JD McFlurry get his ass nailed by Logan Paul is not going to be surprising. Now, was it a good setup? It wasn't bad. Now, round 3. No, round 2. Sorry, not round 3. Round 2. Sorry. About to move on to the next one before I was finished. Raw got... How can I say this when it comes to CM Punk and Drew? Is it a good story? Yes. Am I going to enjoy it? Yes, once CM Punk is cleared. He's still not cleared yet. They're not going to put him on TV yet. But is it going to be interesting? Yes, I am interested in seeing Drew work with CM Punk. So he's the draft pick for round 2, the first one. Fine. Braun Strowman is back. He's the second pick for Raw. I think he was on Raw before he had to go away when he's with Ricochet. So going back to Raw, I'm not surprised. Here's one that's stupid. The Pride going to SmackDown. You'll hear my thoughts when it comes to Final Testament in a minute, but the Pride going to SmackDown is stupid. Tiffany Stratton staying on SmackDown, not surprised. She ain't ready to go to Raw, even though we do like Tiffy time. She ain't ready. Fine. Not too surprising that they keep CM Punk where he is. They keep Tiffany Stratton where she is. Put the Pride where they are. Was what we got. Now, draft pick, round number 3. We got Ron Simmons and JBL. Damn! Hang on. I gotta clear my throat. Damn! There you go. If anybody loves a Ron Simmons, damn, there you go. There's your damn. Now, let me give it to you like this. What did I feel about LWO going to Raw? They're going to be dealing with... Let me give it to you like this. Seeing them dealing with Judgment Day is kind of nothing because elbow injury to Dom. He ain't going to do anything with his Fu Manchu mustache. He can't do anything until he's cleared because he just had surgery. So LWO is not going to be doing a lot with Judgment Day other than Dom just going to be hanging around. Now, when it comes to Drew as the third draft pick for Raw, which pissed him off, and then to talk with the CM Punk. Well, let me give it to you like this. Him talking about CM Punk was fine. Seeing CM Punk talk about Drew, it was much better. And seeing that CM Punk turned his back on Drew, not surprising. That had to happen. It's just going to make more interest. Like I said, am I interested in Drew and CM Punk? Yes. Is it going to be good? Yes. I'm not having a problem with it. At least it is something. But it's still going to be a wait until CM Punk is cleared and ready, which will probably be eventually either on the next Raw or maybe Backlash. You never know. They'll do something. I don't think at Backlash, but this is my thought. Now, Legado del Fantasma goes to SmackDown. They're pretty much they're going there now. They're not going to go to SmackDown. I mean, Raw. I think the reason I'm botching here is that when you look at LWO and how Carlito is drafted because of LWO, you would think, wouldn't it be better for him, really, wouldn't it be better for him to go to stay on SmackDown instead of being drafted to Raw? Now, of course, people say, well, the story has to be completed. Yeah, but I think maybe Carlito should join Legado del Fantasma. I think he should join them. And that's what I think where the story when it comes to Carlito sucks. Because they should have done something with Carlito so many months ago. Now they've done nothing with him until now when they're about to do the draft. And now they got him on Raw. He's going to be dealing with Ray when I really feel like you need Legado del Fantasma there. But they're on SmackDown. So I wish they'd done this much earlier than it needed to. And then Carlito gone to SmackDown. And they do something with him maybe joining Delgado or something. I just don't see Carlito getting anything on Raw. That's just me. Now, we got Shinsuke Nakamura going to SmackDown. He's not really doing much, so that's what you get. Next, round 4. We get Alundra Blaze and Teddy Long. And that was just after CM Punk talking and then turning his back on Drew McIntyre. You can see him give Teddy a big hug, but then when it came to Alundra Blaze, she watching, she gets a kiss, but she gives him kind of a hug. Let me give it to you like this. Seeing them was more interesting than seeing Paul and Speedon. I think his name is Speedon. I kind of wish they were in the round 2 than they were round 4. That's just me. I mean, influencers are pretty good, but it counts on which influencers you did. If you gotten KSI as an influencer there, with Logan Paul. That would have been at least something because KSI is much more interesting than Speed somebody. I can't remember his name. But in round 4, we get Judgment Day staying on Raw. All of them. And then we finally get the first of NXT, Ilya Dragunov, going to Raw. What did I say? Don't know if he's going to move over to Raw or SmackDown. I had a feeling that he may go to SmackDown, but they decided he's done such a good job on Raw, they're throwing him on Raw. I mean, not. Let me give it to you like this. I am curious how they're going to book Ilya Dragunov. I felt he should be better on SmackDown, but they're moving him to Raw because they thought he did great in NXT. That's what I meant when I was talking. I'm sorry. It's just, I'm worried though. I'm worried. You see, when you look at JD McDonough, when you see he should be booked better, he should be something, he's not. Now, I'm not going to tell you that they're going to change the character of Ilya Dragunov, but I am telling you this, I am a bit concerned because a lot of European wrestlers, no matter what, don't fully get over. They don't. Not because they don't try, it's because booking sucks when it comes to European wrestlers. I'm sorry. There's a lot of wrestlers that get treated like dirt. And unless you're really liked, they will push your ass. Like when Sheamus was talking to Braun Breaker, and then he saw Drew. Sheamus had to bust his ass to get somewhere, and he was really over with Vince. So that's the reason why he got where he got. Not because of Triple H. It was Vince that pushed him. I'm just saying. What did we get for SmackDown? We got, what was this of SmackDown? I do believe, was it Jade? I know Jade is staying on SmackDown. Now, who is this one? Naomi. There you go. My handwriting. I never said I had great handwriting. I do script on and off. I don't always do print. I do script. So if I'm rushing, I mess up. Naomi's on SmackDown, and also Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. Really, not much when it comes to Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. I don't expect much from them. But they had to do something with them, so they switched to another brand. Naomi, I'm not surprised. They're just not going to move her. They're just not. But I'm very worried still they're not doing much with her. Yes, she is in a match with, see it like this. Naomi's in a match. She's in a match, and she's getting, well, you are getting, I think, a triple threat for the Bayley title. So, what happens after that? I still feel like she's not going to get very far, but this is just me. Now, round 5. Bully and Devon again come out. They don't pick new legends. They just reuse the old ones. We get New Day staying on Raw. We get Pretty Deadly, if I remember correctly, was on SmackDown, and they're staying on SmackDown. We get Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. The Candice LeRae who just won against a Maxine Dupree. They're now on SmackDown. And then finally, the next NXT star to go to Raw, Lyra Valkyria. Do I believe she's ready? To be honest, if you're going to say who should be called up first, when it comes to Roxanne Perez and Lyra Valkyria, I wish it had been Roxanne, but she is current NXT champion. I'm not expecting her to lose her title because even though they didn't say the NXT stars are leaving, I'm not expecting her to leave either. So she stayed where she is. That's why Lyra went up. But if I had a choice, who would be better on the main roster? Would it be Lyra or would it be Roxanne to go up first? I think Roxanne should go up first. But Lyra's a not bad pick. Just saying. And we still do have Lakita James. She was picked last draft. She's now there. I'm just saying. All right, final draft, the 6-1. We get Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. We get Bronson Reed staying on Raw. we get DIY going to SmackDown, which will be interesting to see how the tag works there. But I wish they changed their music. I can't stand the music. I hate it. I despise DIY's music. I'm sorry. I hate it. I despise it. It sucks. But they are moving to SmackDown. That's not a bad decision to do. Ilya Dragunov goes to Raw. Wait a minute. No. Sorry. My mistake. I'm looking at the wrong one. The final person next to Final Testament that is going to SmackDown to deal with the Pride again. What the fuck? Why do you put the Pride and Final Testament together again? What was the point of putting them on NXT? And clearly, NXT should be where Final Testament should stay. But no, they're being drafted to Raw. No, wait a minute. I'm getting mixed up here. I think it's because Final Testament should never have been drafted. Yes, that's the reason why. Look, Final Testament is on Raw. They should be on the NXT because they need to be rebuilt. I hate how Karrion Kross sucks. Not because he didn't give his best. It's because he's been booked like crap. He just sucks. He does. They should release him. Final Testament should not be on Raw. They should be on NXT. When you look at the Pride, they're on SmackDown. But I'm wondering if they're not going to throw them NXT as well. I don't know. I'm just saying. I hate this. The final person drafted to SmackDown, Blair Davenport. I do believe she was ready about a year ago. But she did get hurt. Until she came back, they couldn't do anything. She was hurt. So her coming back, now she had to reprove herself. She's done a good job. They throw on SmackDown. I have no problem with it. As it stands, was this a good draft? Not really. Particularly that the Fall Guys was splattered all over the show. Next to Prime that had that big bottle that's there. You could see it. It wasn't that great. They, again, played it very safe. Like they did on SmackDown. The same thing here. It's been played safe. Yes, they brought up pretty much Ilya Dragunov, which is a good decision to put him on Raw. Also, Lyra Valkyria. To be honest, I think she should go to SmackDown, but I do believe Akita James is on SmackDown, so they wanted to even it out. Davenport, also on SmackDown. That's not a bad thing. I do believe she'll do well. Everyone else shuffled around. Not much changed. You shuffled tags. You went from one set of tags on one side to another, back and forth. Nothing really changed. They made sure they shifted people they know they can replace with the same amount of people. Nothing changed. Those who are not very much over have been switched with someone not very much over. Those who are over are switched with someone that is over. It is playing it safe. That's how I feel about it. And I hope you enjoyed this. Final thoughts. Peace.